Hi, and welcome back to rnMaster VTT video series. I am going through how you can use the Foundry VTT and the rnMaster system, and I'm focusing right now on the fantastic macro support that was introduced in the latest release of rnMaster VTT. I've done several other videos. If you aren't familiar with JavaScript, you should go back and watch the introduction to macros in Foundry VTT. I cover a lot of topics like how to debug, how to do a lot of things. And I've done other videos already. This one builds on those. So, buckle up your seatbelts. We're going to go full speed here. All right, this video is going to talk about templates and having spells put down spell templates. Spell templates, if you're not familiar with them, so normally you've got the little token control selected. If you go one below it, you can place out spell templates, which help you figure out, exactly which hex are impacted by a spell. Well, I want to do that automatically. I want to have the spell put down its own template. So let's take a look at a simple example here with Fireball. What it's going to do is you've seen this before with getting the targets. We're taking now and we're going to check to see if someone has been targeted, and if so, use that target. Otherwise, I'm going to use the spellcaster, him or herself, as the target for this spell. This is a little bit different logic that I've done than what I've done in other macros. Wanted to point this out. It's taking and checking to see if target size is equal to 1. We'll use the target. Otherwise, we're going to use token. Token will be the spellcaster. All right. So if successful, we're going to create a template. So we really only have one thing inside of this is success, which is creating a measured template. We're going to have the we're going to have the spell check to see if the result is a critical. We already know it's a success, so now we're checking to see if it's a critical success. If so, then the dimensions of the fireball is going to be skill index times 2, so the diameter will be skill index times 2. Otherwise, it's just going to be plain old skill index. And we create the measured template. How to create a measured template. This is on the Foundry VTT API site. You can look there. There's also other examples. And this script is actually on the GitLab wiki page for rnMaster VTT. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a circle. We're going to give it the X and Y position of the target token, center, X, and Y. So we're going to figure out whether we targeted someone or if we didn't target someone, what the center, X, and Y is. We're going to use that as the center for the template. I'm doing a little nice thing here, which is setting the fill color to the same color as the game user. That way you can easily see whose spell token is whose. Down here, you see my frame is blue. If I do measurements, it's measured in blue. You can actually change this. I don't know if you know this. Just right click on your player name, user configuration. You can go in here, you can change it. I just changed it to blue because I kind of like that one. If you do change it, don't forget to click on save configuration. So the distance is going to be the diameter in this case. Width, not really used. Angle, not really used when you're doing a circle. Temporary false means I want this to stick around. So let's see how well this works. Fireball, we have the Gargan targeted. Let's roll the dice, and we'll roll a 4, so it's not a critical success. Boom. We've got that. It's a 7 foot because that's her scale index. Our skill index is 7. And if you wanted to, you can go in here, you can see that. You can go and you can change things if you want. But this does stick around. It's centered exactly on the Gargan, but you can move it around. If we do the same thing, but this time we're going to roll a critical success. So we're going to roll a 5 instead. You see that it's twice as large, and it highlights exactly which hexes are part of the area of effect. All right, that's your very basic spell template. Let's take a look at a little bit more fun one. I've installed a plugin called Token Magic, which allows you to, among other things, have little special effects, like flames here. And we've got the flames. Let's see what we can do for fun with a little bit more advanced example. So, again, we're picking up the target of the spell. This spell requires both the source and the target. This is going to create a cone. So the cone will start from the spellcaster and it will point directly at the target, whatever you've targeted. So I've got this standard block of text that you've already seen here where it's making sure that you've got exactly one target selected. And if not, it aborts. And it sets up the target token as an array from targets. All right. Next up is checks to see if it's a success. The source is the token, the center of the token being the spellcaster. The destination is the target, the center of the target. I'm going to create a ray. Ray is something that's included in Foundry, and it is what the tape measure tool uses. Basically, you mark out 2 points, and it draws a line between the two of them. And we're going to use this in order to figure out the direction and in terms of radians. Now, the ray returns an angle. That's degrees, so 0 to 360, what everyone's kind of familiar with. Radians is used more for mathematics, which makes sense in this particular case that we'd want to be using that. Why they don't have ray returning radians, I don't know. But anyhow, here is how to convert a degrees to radians. Maybe Ray has something that returns radians directly. I didn't see it. I'm again using the fill color of the game user color. I'm doing a cone instead of a circle. The length is going to just be unconditionally skill index times 5. The angle is 33 degrees, so it's not a really wide cone. It's a little bit narrower cone. The starting point is the source, X and Y. Distance is going to be that length. That's skill index times 5. And I'm throwing in some fun here with Token Magic. This is documented on the Token Magic project site, how to do this. And I just stole this straight from there. This is going to put wild magic on there with a certain tint and an alpha, which is a level of transparency. And it measures it and creates this measured template. Let's see what this looks like. All right, we've got the cone spell template. It's marking out the hexes that have the that are impacted, but it's also done this very cool special effect on top of it. I like it. But let's go ahead and delete it for right now. So let's take this and let's see if we can apply it to the fireball that we did earlier. All right. All that's needed for the token magic is this flags section. Take the flags here. I'm going to copy it. We're going to go over to fireball, and we're just going to add it in here. I'm going to add a comma. That's a common mistake, is if you're adding more things into this data structure, you forget to put the commas in. I don't want it to be wild magic. I want it to be, let's go ahead and draw this out. I want it to be, let's do flames, shall we? All right. Get rid of that one. So instead of wild magic, it is flames. And we'll keep the transparency of 50. I think I'm going to get rid of that tint. Just take it off. Use the default tint. All right, now let's see what happens when she casts Fireball. There we go. Probably reduce the transparency even more, but this is what it looks like. I hope you enjoyed the video. I've got one more coming up, which is going to be looking at doing active effects together with turn alert. So that'll be the last video on macros. Hope you've enjoyed these. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.